The movie begins with Denmark soldiers returning home after the war. Denmark has finally been freed from German control after 5 long years. Sergeant Kaal notices a soldier holding a Denmark flag. He becomes furious and starts beating the soldier, as German forces had already stolen much from the land. Kaal deeply hates the Germans. He grabs the flag and walks toward the western post, where German forces had buried landmines across the beach. He marks the dangerous area with the flag. Meanwhile, a group of German soldiers captured after the war is seen traveling in a truck. They are brought before British Commander Jensen. Jensen tells them that no one here cares for Germans, so they should not expect kindness. He warns them that they will now follow his orders. Jensen explains that German forces planted nearly 2.2 million landmines on the western coast, and these mines must be removed. German prisoners will be used for this task, even though none of them have experience in defusing mines. Jensen trains them and tells them there is absolutely no room for mistakes. He warns that even a tiny error could take their life. He then sends the soldiers inside one by one to practice defusing mines and come out safely. The soldiers enter individually, attempting to remove the mines and return. One soldier becomes extremely nervous while trying to defuse a mine. His hands begin shaking during the process. A sudden explosion occurs and he loses his life in the blast. Watching this, the remaining soldiers become terrified. Those who pass the test are sent to the beach to remove the live mines under Sergeant Kaal. Kaal treats the German prisoners with harsh discipline. Among them are 2 young twin brothers with brave hearts, yet Kaal shows no mercy to anyone. Kaal takes them to the coast and tells them that the Germans placed 4,500 mines on this beach, and they must clear them. He explains that if they remove 6 mines every hour, the beach will be fully cleared in 3 months. After that, they can return home. He warns that anyone attempting to escape will face severe punishment. The boys begin searching for mines. They carefully dismantle each mine and move forward. By the time they finish, evening has arrived. They fill sacks with grass to make makeshift beds and rest inside an old house. Kaal locks the door from the outside and sleeps in a nearby house with his dog. The next morning, the soldiers return to work and spend the entire day clearing landmines. They have been hungry for 2 days, and working on empty stomachs becomes extremely difficult for them. Later, Sebastian goes to speak with Kaal. He says, "We have been hungry for 2 days. Why hasn't any food arrived for us?" Kaal shows no concern. He replies, "Your job is to follow orders. I don't care whether you live or die." 2 brothers, Lesnar and Werner, then notice a little girl playing outside with her doll. Lesnar approaches the girl and begins playing with her. While talking, he quietly steals her food. The brothers share the food and eat it. As the sun sets, Kaal orders everyone back inside to sleep. After Kaal leaves, one of the soldiers sneaks out in search of food. The next morning, when they return to work, one of the twins becomes sick. They ask Kaal for permission to rest for a few hours, but he scolds them and forces them back to work. Lesnar lets his younger brother rest and does his share of the work. Another soldier's condition becomes worse, and he vomits on the mine he was defusing. The mine explodes, leaving him severely injured. Both of his arms become useless from the blast. Sebastian and Lesnar carry him to Kaal. The injured soldier cries, "I want to go home. My mother is waiting for me." Kaal gives him a sedative and sends him to the base camp for treatment. Soon, the health of the remaining soldiers begins to decline. They suffer from stomach pain and vomiting. One soldier tells Kaal that it is all his fault. He admits he stole food from a nearby house that night, which caused everyone to become sick. Later, Kaal meets the woman who lives at that house. She explains that there is no food left at her farmhouse. She says the boys most likely ate rat food, which is why they all became ill. Kaal then gives the soldiers salty seawater to drink to induce vomiting. He also bathes them with fresh water. Sian, however, is completely fine because he did not eat the contaminated food. Sian then shows Kaal a wooden trap he built, which can help detect mines more easily and reduce the risk of explosions. Instead of appreciating him, Kaal scolds him and sends him back inside. The next morning, Kaal visits the base camp to check on the injured soldier. The nurse tells him that they could not save William and that he passed away during the night. Kaal steals some food from the camp and hides it in his car. Captain Jensen sees him doing this. Kaal returns to the beach and gives the food to the German boys. They eat quickly to satisfy their hunger. Kaal then says, "I have 2 pieces of news, one good and one bad. The good news is that William is fine and will be sent home soon. The bad news is that we are behind schedule, so now we must clear 8 mines per hour." Kaal lies about William so their morale does not collapse, and so they continue working faster to return home. At night, while the boys are sleeping, Captain Jensen arrives at the beach with his British soldiers. He treats the German boys harshly. He is actually punishing them by forcing them to eat food. Some of the soldiers behaved harshly toward the boys and tried to torture them in every way. Then Kaal arrived and stopped them. He said, "I need these soldiers to clear the coast." Johnson replied, "You stole food from our kitchen and fed it to the Germans, and they don't deserve it." The sergeant said, "These boys are just children. If they don't eat, how will they work? And besides, I brought that food for my dog." Kaal said, "I need experienced people to clean the coast." The next day, while dismantling mines, Satin saw 2 mines connected together. He shouted to warn the others not to pull them out, but the strong wind carried his voice away. Werner did not hear him and pulled the mines. A massive explosion occurred. Lesnar's twin brother Werner died in the blast. Seeing Werner's death, Lesnar completely breaks down. He searches everywhere for him, but nothing remains because the explosion destroyed everything. The other soldiers bring Lesnar to Kaal, who gives him a sedative to calm him. Even then, Lesnar is deeply traumatized by his brother's death. He keeps insisting on going to the beach to find Werner, but Kaal manages to put him to sleep each time. Later, Kaal sees Sve Stein sitting alone on a hill. Kaal approaches him and says, "I lied to all of you about William being alive. The truth is, he also died in the accident." Sve Stein replies, "I already knew you lied. You did it so we would finish clearing the beach and go home." By now, Kaal has developed a soft corner for the German boys. He goes back to the base camp to bring them food again. This time, he also brings a football, and everyone enjoys playing together. Kaal bonds with them as well, but Lesnar does not join in. After Werner's death, he prefers to stay alone. At this point, 2 more Nazi soldiers arrive, sent by the officials to join the group. As everyone returns from playing football, Kaal throws the ball away for his dog to fetch. Suddenly, an explosion occurs and Kaal's dog is killed. Kaal becomes furious after losing his dog. According to the map, the area where the explosion occurred had already been cleared. Kaal lines the boys up. Ludwig was responsible for counting the mines in that area. He assures Kaal that he counted everything correctly, but Kaal does not believe him and harshly punishes him. Kaal says he made a mistake by trusting them. He then forces all the boys to march across the entire beach to check the mine range themselves, ensuring that any remaining mines explode. The boys march across the whole beach. Fortunately, no mines are left and they cross safely. After the forced march, Helmut becomes angry. He says, "I don't trust the British. They will never send us home, so we should escape." His friend tells him that Kaal won't release them until all the landmines are cleared. Satin says, "If we run away, Kaal will kill us all." So everyone stops Helmut from leaving. The next morning, a little girl wanders into a mine-filled area to play. Her mother runs to Kaal for help, but he is not there. She then takes the German boys to the beach where the girl had been playing with her doll. Kaal returns and notices the boys are missing. Lesnar tells him they went to the beach and Kaal rushes there. Satin starts clearing the mines one by one to reach the girl safely. At that moment, Lesnar arrives and walks toward her without fear. Kaal tries to stop him, but he cannot. Lesnar reaches the girl and begins talking and playing with her to keep her calm. Meanwhile, Satin continues clearing the mines around them. Lesnar lifts the girl and hands her over to Sve Stein. However, Lesnar does not return, as he has felt alone ever since losing his brother. Everyone tries to call him back, but he does not listen. A loud explosion suddenly occurs and Lesnar loses his life. After this incident, Sve Stein is heartbroken. Kaal approaches him and encourages him, saying, "The team needs you. I'm sure all of you will go home one day." However, Kaal himself was deeply troubled. He knew that although Germany had been the enemy, these boys were still just children, unaware of the consequences of war. The next day, 4 boys continue clearing the beach while other soldiers load mines onto a truck. They do not realize that one of the mines had not fully detonated. A powerful blast occurs, setting off all the mines in the truck at once. The explosion kills the German boys instantly. Hearing the blast, Kaal and the remaining boys rush toward the truck, but no trace of the soldiers remains. After this tragedy, Kaal takes the 4 surviving boys, puts them in a truck, and attempts to send them home. He then goes to the base camp to speak with Jensen and says he needs experienced men. Jensen already knows why he came, so he orders the truck to be stopped and brings the boys back. Jensen says no German will return home until every beach in the area is completely cleared. Kaal tries to argue that the boys are still children, but Jensen refuses to listen. Kaal leaves in anger. Later, the 4 boys are sent back to the beach to continue removing mines. The officer there receives a letter from Kaal and sends the boys away again. Kaal takes them out of the truck and tells them that the German border is only 500 meters away. He tells them they are free now. The 4 boys run toward their homeland. Kaal watches them go, happy to see them finally heading home. In the end, Kaal transforms from a man filled with anger into someone who finally sees the boys as humans, not enemies. Watching them run toward freedom proves that even in the darkest situations, humanity can still rise above hate. What would you have done if you were in Kaal's place? Tell me in the comments. And if you enjoyed this explanation, don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications for more stories. And with that, the movie ends.